What's up, fellow classers? It's Apollyon here, and I was able to get a couple cool cleanup attacks. Again, I really like to see them. I think you guys like to see them. Please let me know if you want more or less, whatever it is. And we're going to show some cleanup attacks with, and I try to catch the ones that were done with the almost exact same army composition. We had a couple other ones that were, I think one was La Lune and the other one was 3-starred with a GoVaHo, and I might do those too. Just to show, that you can use two different strategies, one to clean up on a completely different strategy. But I'm in the frame of mind that says, look, if you got a high percentage attack and you can tweak it a little bit, go ahead and re-hit it. Now if you get a 40% attack, then probably rethink the whole thing. But Dirk's going to go ahead and hit this. It's a fresh hit. He'll get the easy lure here with a couple of hogs. And then I think he uses double poison, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward this and get to the point. Now, he chooses to use a stoned entrance with 3 golems and 17 hogs. And I think it's just maybe a little bit of rust on him. He hasn't been in war for very long. I don't know what happened with the last golem. So I was able to take all this stuff that happened. It was a good break-in. I don't know if he really needed to break in with those wall breakers. He already got the other compartments, so extra wall breakers right there that I see that are not needed. And he's got the funnel going. Maybe could spread the funnel a little bit more like I do on my attack, but sends the kill squad in. He's got medium level heroes, 15, 12. So they take the jump. The golems are going to take the jump in a little bit. And the king goes and smacks down the wizards actually took down the king. So we've already got the enemy queen down. We've got the golems jumping in. Queen's taking out some things. And if you look here, there's still a golem. He's still got this golem here that's not even been deployed yet. So, these guys would have been able to make it so much further if he had 3 golems, and they make it very, very far. So I took that in consideration too. So he's deploying his hogs. He's already tripped at least one giant bomb, but it's a set. So I think whenever they trip that or they get split, they split the other. They trigger the other giant bomb there. So he's still got the hogs coming in. He's got a rage also. If you notice, there's the other giant bomb trip. So there's one set right there. And this rage is, I guess he forgot to rage up his kill squad, which really wasn't necessary anyway. So I took that in consideration. He has a rage here that he's not even going to use, or he is going to use, but it's actually going to be a detriment to him because he's going to rage through a double giant bomb set, which is probably not what you want to do, is get your hogs going quicker through a double giant bomb set. So all these things, he gets a very high percentage too. So all these things can be tweaked, and we're going to go ahead and fast forward this as he finally runs out of hogs. He deployed his last golem there, which was not a bad idea. I mean, since he had it, to go ahead and tank for these things. But he's not going to get very far. I also noticed he had some golemites on the bottom too, which means that third golem was not even necessary at all. If you've got golemites or a golem that's still sticking around after the war is done, that means that you brought too many. You don't really need to overkill it. So he runs out of time. He probably would have got the 3-star if he didn't run out of time. But 92%, very, very nice, very, very good. Can be tweaked a little tiny bit, which we're going to do right here. And let's go ahead and do that on this attack, which is the cleanup. And here we go. So let's go ahead and check out the cleanup. So I just took his blueprint, basically copied it down. I brought a shattered entry. I sent my hogs in a little differently than his, just for quickness. There was an easier way to grab all those clan castles. Probably could have done it with 1 hog, but you know what? 1 hog is not going to make the difference when I already know how I'm going to hit the base and when and why and where and all that kind of good stuff. So double poison here for the clan castle, and we'll take that dragon. Now I do a wide funnel. I see a lot of free buildings right there from that wizards can take without getting hit. So right and the left, send the same golems in that he did, and I bring only 3 wall breakers, 1 just in case, and the other 2 to break the wall just in case there is an emergency or something like that. So I break in the same way. They're getting in there, they're rerouting. I'll drop my king in just a second. There we go. These wizards will start hitting the king, and then the queen will go ahead and focus on him as well. so she'll take him down in just a couple seconds. And this king will go ahead and take down the enemy queen, and I'll rage him up and get some use out of him. So everything's going about the same. I'll snipe in a couple of extra hogs just while the golems are tanking for them. And I really want to trip that double giant bomb pretty quickly so I can start my real deployment of the hogs. So those up top hogs will make it a little bit better. I don't need to heal here. I can sacrifice 2 hogs, and that's not a big deal. Or 3 or 4, whatever it is. Now I got a bulk. I brought tons of extra hogs because I was able to bring 6 extra since I didn't bring that extra golem that Dirk had. So I used my first heal here. That double giant bomb has been tripped. I know at this point that there's no way that those golems are going to make their way all around to the second set. There's 2 good things about that. First is that the double giant bomb set is horribly placed. It's placed so that you really don't trip them at the same time. So that's one thing I could see from Dirk's, the way he did it. So I know right here, if I heal, I'll be able to heal these hogs completely full, trip the other one, and then get healed full again. And I've only got a couple more defenses left. And it's got a billion hogs to clean up. I've got 3 golemites on the bottom that were able to tank, and were there available for that. So just a couple tweaks. Get rid of that rage, bring an extra heal, and drop that golem and bring 6 extra hogs. And I mean, look at the cleanup here. So just tons and tons. So really, the credit goes to Dirk for that attack. It was a very, very good strategy. It was a 3-star strategy. Just a little tweak of a couple army compositions and spells, and yeah, then you see you get it. All right, let's go ahead and check out number 9, and we're going to go ahead and see a couple different ways that we can take care of this. So let's go and look at those attacks. For number 9, we're going to see our Brando number 9 take out their number 9, or attempt to. Spoiler alert, he gets a very high percentage here, 93%, and it runs out of time, as you can see on the bottom here. So it was a 3-star attack. It should have gotten 3 stars, just a couple tweaks that need to be made. He's going to bring a Queen Walk with a GoVaHo. So brings the 4 healers and starts the Queen Walk up top there. And I can't remember if it was a Queen Charge or a Queen Walk. We'll find out in just a second. It looks like he's got 3 wall breakers, so I'm not sure it's going to be a Queen Charge. So he's got the minions up top to start the funneling in there. He wants his queen, I think, to walk south, if I'm not mistaken. So those minions are doing a great job. Everything's, getting the queen is tanking for that archer, so those minions will get some nice free defensive buildings, which is always what you want, I think, until they get in the range of this air defense. So then they'll be taken out by the Expo and the air defense. So the queen's doing her thing. Continue to walk. And you'll notice here that it's taking a while to walk, and the queen is not triggering the clan castle, which is something that's going to be different in the next attack. This kill squad that he's sending on the bottom with the shattered entries is just going to get completely toasted and roasted by the clan castle's dragon. So there's nothing really to get it. I don't know why the poison didn't get it quick enough, but that's what really made and broke this particular attack. So Queen's doing fine. She's got no problem. Doesn't even have to use a rage yet. Doesn't have to do anything. Just doing a walk around. Valkyries are sent in, and look at the tier 1 plus that dragon that's in there. And this dragon is just going to go ahead and roast these Valkyries completely. So yeah, that's they're almost all gone right now. It's still that nothing's taking care of this dragon, just the poison. Excuse me. So, the rages uses the ability there, but I mean the kill squad is almost completely done, and they do trip some giant bombs there, so that's always good. The double giant bomb set on the bottom has been tripped. One of the top has been, so that's pretty decent. But that kill squad is not pushing any further. That queen is breaking through a wall now, with the help of the wizard, and he still hasn't sent any hogs in yet because he really wants that queen to start tanking for him and at least being able to push through the best they can, because he knows that the queen has got a healer, so she can tank up to 2-point defenses at a time, and wants to get that queen in there and help out with the defenses too, not just tank for it, but also help take out some of these defenses. So the hogs go in there, and he only has one heal left over for these hogs, so they really need to make that big push. That wizard tower is doing some damage. Spring traps, Tesla, they are getting, I think he held on a little bit too long for that heal there. Maybe just a tad bit, because there's only a couple point defenses here, but it's still very difficult. That queen is starting to go down, but she still has her ability, so she might as well kick that in there and get rid of these this AD and some of these archer towers. So she uses the ability, takes care of those point defenses, eats a giant bomb. Those hogs are just about finished. There's a couple more left, and if they don't go to spring traps, then it's going to be tough for them to finish up that cannon. So one of them finished. I think there's one left. Yeah, he'll go ahead, and nope, he doesn't get it. So even if he did get it, it would still be very close, as there's only 10 plus seconds left to be able to clean up this base. So the queen definitely would have gotten it and gotten the 3-star, but ran out of time. So the queen walk plus the clan castle took a little bit too much. So we'll go ahead and check out the same, almost exactly the same tack, just done a little bit differently by Big Einstein. Same queen walk, same composition. I didn't see if he brought. I think he brought a couple more hogs and like one or two less Valkyries. So I think we've got the same spell composition too. I see a rage in there, a jump, and I don't know if Brando brought 2 heals. I think he did. So everything's still going exactly the same. These minions are doing the work. The queen's still doing work, but he's going to use a hog here. Actually, he's going to use a couple of hogs here. And their goal is to go ahead and trigger that clan castle and then use the poison and the queen to take care of them. And then the kill squad will be able to make it a much further push and get into there so they can really tank for those hogs. So the same stuff going on here. I was going to speed it up, but I do want you to see the hogs. As soon as that cannon goes down, that hog can go in there. He's got a free ride to get that clan castle. So he gets, I think, almost all of it, not quite, which actually works out pretty good, because now the queen can start taking them out right now without having to worry about that dragon. And then he'll go ahead and send that last hog in there, and there we go. There is the clan castle. I think that's actually done perfectly to split it up like that. Uses that 1 poison. Don't even know if he's going to have to use 2 poisons in there. But it's queen on dragon, and I think the queen is definitely going to win without having to do anything. So there we go. So doesn't have to use a rage, doesn't have to use ability. Everything is going in really well. It's time to go ahead and start the phase 2 of this attack, or phase 3, whatever you want to call it, with the kill squad. Funneling, everything's still going just like Brando did. Not reinventing the wheel there. Test Wallbreaker goes in. The other 2 go in there right there, or right on the bottom. And everything will route in. And that king, they can go ahead and send a jump in there in just a little bit. Valkyries go in as well, but they do not have to contend with that dragon or clan castle, so they're going to go down a lot slower. Uses that really nicely placed jump to open up almost all that second half of the base, or the first half of the base, and then rages them up. So does not need to use a rage for the queen. Unfortunately, the healers, or fortunately, however you want to see how it works out, split, and they actually get the benefit of that rage spell. So they'll go ahead and keep these Valkyries up very nicely. The queen, though, is riding solo. She's got nothing to back her up. But now look at all the tanking that's being done in that center with the king, the Valkyries, the golem. Those hogs are not even being touched, whereas he lost tons of them in the last one. He even deployed another one up top. He still has another heal for these hogs, which he uses right here. But, I mean, look at this. He's got tons of stuff tanking for him on the bottom, too. So these hogs do not have to make anywhere near the type of push that they needed to in the other attack. That one hog is completely going on the cannon by himself without even getting touched. The golem is tanking completely. So, I mean, yeah, it's all over for this base. The defenses have gone down, and everything is still up. Queen is just about full. King is full. And after I eat, I will be full. So, all right, let's go ahead and check out the last one, because got to throw some Town Hall 8s in here. So we'll go ahead and look at the Town Hall 8 attack. In our last attack, we're going to get a chance to get a kind of treat again by checking out the Town Hall 8s, hitting a Town Hall 9. We had a weird situation in this war where we were severely mismatched. I mean, it was just ridiculously mismatched in both offense and defense, but we prevailed, and we were able to hit. We had to have a lot of our Town Hall 8s hit up to Town Hall 9s like this. Now, they were not max, or they were, you know, a lot of them had low royals, but still very difficult bases to hit. And I actually think, you know, they're both great attacks here. I actually think Gringo has the better attack. He got a very high percentage, but I mean completely crushed the base. It just took too long. It's very hard to duplicate in time because you have to be breaking in at two different spots at the exact same time. Very, very difficult, especially for Town Hall 8, until you get used to doing that. But this attack is fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and use a GoHo, Shattered GoHo. He actually brings a loon in here just to get a 1-for-1 defense, which the next attacker does not do. Grabs that lure. Takes a little bit too long to kill these guys too. So, you know, speed that poison up, or at least the poison drops up a little bit. So they finally go down. He's going to get the 1-for-1 here with the loon and a cannon, which is always great. If you can do a 1-for-1 trade-off, you've got the base crushed pretty much. So he's going to start the funneling in up top here. He's bringing a shattered entry, but he's entering from each side, from the east and the west, with one golem. So he's using a cold-blooded entrance on each of the sides, which is really, really cool, because I think this has been hit before. The double giant bombs, or at least we know it because it's a internet base, the double giant bombs are right above the queen and right above the king. So they're right at those spots. So he's going to have this first golem in there. And I think he took a little bit too long a time waiting for that wizard to go ahead and get done with that storage unit too. So the wall breakers get in there. They finally break in. The king is sent in there and takes care of that enemy queen, and is going to go ahead and trip that giant bomb. Uses the ability. There we go. Both the giant bombs are tripped. And then he'll go ahead and start from the right-hand side. Use that wizard to get some cheap funneling there. And again, just taking too long, but the thought process in the attack is actually fantastic. Drops the golem, and he's going to go ahead and use wizards to kill this king. The enemy king is going to get aggro, and these wizards are going to stop hitting, or at least they're going to do it after they clear it. They're going to focus on that king that's being tanked, or the golem's tanking the king for them. So they're going to go ahead and knock him down, and the golem will go ahead and get in here with the wizard's help and get past this and trip the double giant bomb set that's in this compartment. So there we go. There it's tripped. Now these hogs have nothing to worry about. They've got no giant bombs to worry about. The base is super, super compact. There's really almost no spots for the spring traps. So he can do a two-finger drop, and I mean, he almost loses no hogs at all, just maybe 1 or 2 hogs. And the problem is the time. He hasn't even used both of his heals yet. He's only used 1 heal so far. He has an extra heal, which he'll use right here, or that last heal. And yeah, they're going to go ahead and take out the defenses. But I mean, look how much is still left. He's got like 30% or 40% of the base still left, 35 actually. And no cleanup troops except for these hogs. There's a wizard up top, but I mean, look how many hogs he has. He has to have at least 15 hogs, minimum. Maybe even between 15 and 20 hogs. So these, I mean, if he had just probably 10 seconds more, I think they would have cleaned up. There's so many of them. But he doesn't. And the time is gone. So he runs out of time on here. And all the other things just took a little bit too much time. So in a perfect world, you would be able to go ahead and hit that base the same way, except come in from the right and the left at the same time. That is a very complex attack, very difficult, and you got a lot of moving parts to be able to control 2 sides at the same time. So Excalibur is going to use the same composition, but he's actually just going to use a shattered entry from one side and concentrate on that, and then use the hogs to trip the double giant bomb set on the other one. So poison goes down a little bit quicker, and we're getting ready to start going here in just a second. Does not use the 1-for-1 loon up there, which I actually liked Gringo's use of that. That was just a really nice thing, and it helps out with the funneling and everything else. You're very lucky that golem didn't start walking down. Oh, there's a sweeper up there, that's why. Okay. So he's starting the funneling up here, and uses a minion very smartly, or very smart, however you want to say that, on the far left. And he just needs to go ahead and wall break into here. And there's the wall breakers. They're going. And they'll break in. And everything but that golem and a couple wizards up there will be taking care of it and rerouting. The queen goes down. And that golem will soon reroute in just a second. So the hogs are being sent in because the queen is down. He's got 3 heals instead of... Do we have 3 heals last? I don't remember. Maybe I missed it. But he's got 3 heals, 2 more after that one was dropped. And he has quite a bit of hogs going here. So the only thing he really has to worry about is that double giant bomb set. And fortunately, the way it's placed is just really horrible, because they're going to go from that archer tower to the cannon, trip 1, and then stay at that cannon for a little bit, and he'll heal, and then they'll go to the other giant bomb and get hit from that one. So, we're all done with that. The defenses are almost all down. Now we're going to switch and take out all of the buildings. The king on king. The friendly king does not have his ability, so he can't rage up and take care of that. Finally, these hogs make it there. The king gets taken care of, and it's time for cleanup. Does not have nearly as many hogs as Gringo did, but you know what? He has most of the base cleared already, and a lot more time available to him because he didn't have to do that. So I love both of their attacks. They were fantastic each. Unfortunately, only one of them got 3 stars, but it was very, very nice. So anyway, hopefully you're able to take these cleanup attacks, understand how you can look at a base and tweak it just a little bit so that you either use different troops, different spell composition, deploy them differently, use the spells quicker, later, whatever it is, and figure out where the attack went wrong and make the adjustments appropriately. So go ahead and get those 6-star clan wars and practice those 3-star attacks.